Firesale was once an incredibly talented and popular editor associated with some of the biggest content creators on the platform like Dream. Now they find their name embroiled in controversy over allegations of SA and other concerning acts. I would like to start this video with a very clear disclaimer. People who have worked with Firesale in the past are not responsible for their actions. People like Dream are not mind readers who can somehow know whether someone is going to do fucked shit or not. And the amount of people I see go at people like Dream over stuff like this is crazy. At the end of the day, he's a human. What kind of parasocial bullshit do you guys believe in, that this dude is some omnipotent being because he knows how to make popular YouTube videos? Okay, now I've called out the intellectually dishonest people, or more accurately, the 12-year-olds in the audience. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Even you 12-year-olds, you're welcome, except maybe not to this video. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be highly appreciated. I'm aiming for 100k. I recently checked my analytics, and as I'm sure you know, nobody on the internet ever lies. My analytics say one person, being you, is the person that's not subscribed. So you, scroll down, click it. Please, my wife and kids are in a sewer. We have no food. We're fed crumbs from rats. Please subscribe. You can also check out my Twitter. I'm almost at 6,000 followers. I really appreciate all of the support over there. You can check out my Twitch. I've been streaming recently. I even streamed the production of one of my videos. And for $1 a month, you can check out my Patreon and get every video that goes on this channel without the intros, outros, self-promo pushes, without ads, and also without any censorship on my words or screenshots to make it easier, as long as there's nothing NSFW within those screenshots. It means that you can support me for my content, you can get this content in a more streamlined format, and also I just get more freedom to say and do whatever I want in this content, really. I would appreciate support over there. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. These allegations came to light when Firesale released a tweet longer on the 1st of March before shortly deactivating, so only people who got a screenshot before it was deleted had access to see what the thread actually read. They say, "Hello everyone, I would like to come forward about something that I have done. I would like for all of you to please read this all the way through before replying. Around 6 months ago, me and one of my close friends who was staying with me at the time for a couple of days got sexual, and at the time I thought I understood their boundaries, but I was wrong. I was very pushy, relaxed, and that made them very uncomfortable, and I still pushed onwards. I did use some manipulation tactics to get sexual favors out of them, however I will make it clear on what happened without going into detail. I was extremely pushy towards relax with this friend, and I used manipulation tactics to get what I wanted out of them. When they would say no, I would become sad and depressed in order to get them to feel bad and get them to cave in. There was a pregnancy scare with my close friend due to my own stupidity, which resulted in a possible leakage, which caused my friend to have pregnancy-like symptoms. Of course, they had to take a test. I now understand how my actions caused harm towards those closest to me. Although I may have changed, these actions are still my own. I think it's best that I confess publicly about these actions. I made amends with the person involved, but this does not change what I did. I'm sorry for those who are hurt by my actions." Obviously, immediately following this post, pretty much everyone associated with Firesale cut their ties with good reason. This post does not even come close to making them seem forgivable or redeemable from their actions. They end it by saying that they now understand how their actions caused harm towards those closest to me, which is an insane statement to make, which hinges on the plausibility of them not understanding previously what was wrong with manipulating someone into sexual acts. That is insane, and the fact they believe anyone would believe that is ridiculous. Everybody knows what's wrong with doing something like that. There is no doubt in my mind they knew everything was wrong with that, and even if they didn't, that doesn't mean what they did was okay, forgivable, or that a tweet longer would even come close to resolving the problem here. This is unacceptable. Firesale would then change their Discord status unbelievably to that they'd be logging back in a week. Guys, I found the cure to all of the depraved behavior. Going outside and not using Discord for a week. Apparently. This person seems so disconnected from reality and how they've handled this situation and how they've acted around all of it. And it just becomes worse when you watch Kaneko Kitten's video, which expands so much more in this situation.
It started in around, I believe, April of 2021, where one of my close friends at the time was trying to move out of his house because his whole family situation was really not working out for him. His parents started to become even more annoyed about it, saying, "You're just getting our hopes up about moving out," and threatened to send him to the military unless he got some moving arrangements settled. This is where Firesale would come in and immediately offer him a place to stay. to roommate with her completely for free so that he can get back up on his feet. I was completely on board of this because I knew Firesale as a friend. She was literally my IRL best friend for like several months. We hung out multiple times a week. Fast forward a couple weeks later and the move finally happens. And I didn't see a problem going on at all. And when I was over there, and spent the night sometimes and whatnot, I never really saw or got any indication of a problem going on. This would quickly change when I ended up getting time away from Christian. Like, we both managed to get away from her and just went to my house to hang out. And even doing that took a lot of effort because, like, I had to make it known to her, like, hey, I kind of want to just hang out with him. And she was just like, kind of got like passive aggressive and was like, oh, okay. We ended up getting really close and end up being in a relationship, to which I still am currently in. So yeah, that's one of the cat out of the bags for this video, is that the victim is literally my boyfriend. We were at my house and he clammed up really hard on my couch. He sat there, we were talking, we were having a good time, and then randomly, all of a sudden, he just clammed up, got super silent, and spaced off. And I had to talk to him for like about 15 minutes, being like, hey, is everything okay? Like, is there something you need to tell me? This is when I would be told the truth, that Firesale, about 20 minutes after he got off the plane from the airport to her house, she immediately started pushing sexual advances onto him.
It is so disgustingly obvious the malice Firesale had in their actions when you see the full story behind everything that happened here. Seeing someone in a vulnerable position who needed somewhere to stay and had nowhere to go, then offering them that place to stay, which then leads to this power dynamic, which would mean that person is more willing to do things they don't want to do for you so that they can stay at the place, then 20 minutes after they arrive, attempting to make encounters towards them, making it obvious that was your intent the entire time, only for when they said no, you to play the sympathy card, act like you're really depressed, and force them into saying yes to this encounter. It's obvious what the intent was here when you look at the events that took place. And the fact Firesale thought making a tweet longer saying they did this would in any way make this situation better for them is crazy. And the longer Kaneko Kitten's video goes on explaining this situation, the worse it becomes.
She immediately started pushing sexual advances onto him. Like, would ask to cuddle and then like start touching his legs and whatnot. He told me that she would act depressed, like wallow and get in depressive episodes, and then immediately after, or in the middle of these depressive episodes, would ask for help, or about 3 to 5 times a day would continually try to pressure stuff after he already said no. Firesale had an insane amount of power here because, again, she was the one offering the household. It's not like he could just walk up and leave because he already had just moved across the country. He had no family over here. The only friend that he had at the time was me. I immediately confronted Christian on this and said stuff like, hey, if you're pushing sexual stuff onto him, I'm not letting him live with you. I'll be as upfront as possible, and just said that, dude, you're taking advantage of this. She then confided with it, admitted to everything, said it was best for him to not live there and that it doesn't excuse her actions. So for the past several months, I've been offline a lot because my entire priority and focus was making sure that he got out of that household and had a safe place to be. Throughout this period, he had severe heart pains. He was crying. I had to sit here and watch it. I've had to take him to multiple different psychiatrists and therapists. He's prescribed on really high-level benzos. This is far more than just sexual manipulation. It effectively ruined a lot of his life. And this is precisely why I attached a GoFundMe down below in the description, because this money will go directly to him. Really, the thing that's the most screwed up about this entire thing is that the victim themselves was never contacted prior to Firesale making this post admitting to everything publicly. It was never ran through him at all. And the way that he found out about this information being publicized is that his own sibling contacted him about it.
I'd suggest watching Kaneko Kitten's full video if you'd like to know the context of the entire situation and all of the graphic details. For brevity's sake, I've had to cut some of it out here and shorten down this segment about the Firesale allegations from Kaneko's video. Their video does a really good job of expanding on the situation, though I feel like the points I've included here are the most integral parts. The fact that Firesale willingly admitted to what they did, admitted that it was wrong of them, but seemingly seemingly had no remorse for what they did, caused a dramatic and drastic impact to this victim's life for the rest of their life, an unforgivable amount of trauma that's caused them to have to go to medication, and also that they didn't even bother to speak to the victim before making this post, instead clearly caring more about what the public thinks than realizing what they did wrong. Or I mean, everyone knows what they did wrong, coming to terms with it, addressing it, and discussing it with the victim of this situation. An account claiming to be the victim replied, "As uncomfortable as I am having this be spread around as the victim, I'd just like to inform you that this post was severely minimized, and I am situating my own response under my own time. I ask for people's patience, cooperation, and trust, as I obviously can't provide proof." However, another victim also came out about this situation. Someone states, "On behalf of my partner, they wanted me to tweet this for them. They also had an experience with dating Firesale from 2020 to 2021 with using manipulation for sexual favors," attaching a screenshot that reads, "During my time dating Christian, she would use manipulation tactics getting me into doing sexual stuff with her. These tactics were mainly pretending to be insanely sad when she didn't get away, but they also got to the point of threatening taking their own life. Every time she would do this to me, I didn't want her to be upset. I didn't want my partner to be upset or sound sad, so I gave in, which is the biggest mistake I did. I gave into that cycle, and I deeply apologize for that." She would use taking her own life to get attention and manipulate others into other sexual acts. I was not the only one, and with time others will come out about what they had to deal with. As far as I can see, it seems like this likely isn't the end for this situation, as more people may come out. But I do think that's where I'm going to end this video, because there's not more to touch on, and I feel like this video is best left as it is, with as little of my own personal input as possible, as this situation is pretty cut and dry, and I don't think I need to be the guy who sits down and states, "Guys, in shocking news, sexual assault is bad." But with that being said, I'm your news guy. I suppose I'm a news anchor now. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. All of your support is highly appreciated. I'm aiming for 100k. We're very close. I appreciate all of the recent support. Feel free to check out my Twitter down below. I'm almost at 6k. I appreciate the support over there. Feel free to check out my Twitch and Patreon, as I mentioned previously. And also check out the GoFundMe to support the victim if you'd like. That would be highly appreciated. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with a nigga like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me.